Hard Hats and Secret Agendas, Chapter 1 and 2. Concrete Secrets, the Blueprint Breakout. The city was still asleep when Rico Alvarez arrived at the site. The air was thick with fog, curling around steel beams like ghostly fingers. He parked his dented pickup beside the half-built tower and killed the engine. No music, no chatter, just the hum of generators and the distant clank of metal on metal. Something felt off. Rico wasn't the type to spook easily. 20 years in construction had taught him that most things could be fixed with duct tape, coffee, or a crowbar. But today, the site felt watched. He stepped over a pile of rebar and spotted Maya Singh crouched behind a stack of drywall, whispering into a walkie-talkie. "Operation Bone Drop is live," she said. "Repeat, the skeleton is in position." Rico raised an eyebrow. "You're doing the prank today? Thought we agreed to wait until after Chuck's blood pressure meds kicked in." Maya grinned. "Halloween week. Morale's low. Dale's overdue for a meltdown." The crew gathered around the foundation pit just as the forklift lowered a tarp-covered bundle into the concrete. Maya yanked the tarp off with theatrical flair, revealing a skeleton in a reflective vest and hard hat. Laughter rippled through the group. Dale screamed. Tasha Bennett muttered something about immature idiots and went back to welding. But Rico didn't laugh. He stepped closer. The bones weren't plastic. The hard hat was old, cracked, faded, and stamped with a logo he hadn't seen in decades. "Maya," he said slowly, "where'd you get this skeleton?" She blinked. "Party City, I think. Or maybe Craigslist." Rico crouched beside the bones. The vest was real, the boots were steel-toed, and the ID badge clipped to the collar was sun-bleached but legible. Titan Build Group, Esther 1987. Expired, October 1998. His stomach dropped. Titan Build had gone under after a scaffolding collapse that killed 3 workers. Officially, no bodies were ever recovered. Big Mike's voice crackled through the crane radio overhead. "That ain't no prank, Rico. You just found Ghost." Later that morning, site office trailer. The bones lay on a tarp, surrounded by coffee cups and stunned silence. Tasha leaned in, inspecting the ID badge like it was a crime scene. "This guy was buried deep," she said, "like poured over twice deep. Someone wanted him hidden." Dale hyperventilated into a stack of safety manuals. Maya took selfies with the skeleton, captioning them, "Big Ghost Shift." Rico stared at the hard hat. The Titan logo was barely visible beneath layers of grime. "This site used to be theirs," he said. "Before the collapse, before the lawsuits." Tasha frowned. "You think this is one of the missing workers?" "I think we just poured concrete over a crime scene." Crew meeting, 9 a.m. Chuck, the foreman, stood stiffly at the front of the trailer, clipboard clutched like a shield. "Let's not jump to conclusions," he said. "Could be a Halloween prop, could be a leftover training dummy." Maya raised her hand. "Do training dummies wear steel-toed boots and carry union cards?" Chuck ignored her. "We'll notify the city. Quietly. No need to stir up drama." But Rico wasn't buying it. Neither was Tasha. And Maya had already started a group chat called Ghost Watch. As the crew returned to work, the mystery lingered like dust in the air. Something was buried beneath this building, and it wasn't just bones. The morning after we found the skeleton, the site wasn't buzzing with work, but with whispers. The air was thick with theories, flying around faster than a forklift. Dale, his eyes wide behind his safety goggles, was convinced. "It's a mob thing," he said, looking over his shoulder. "Concrete's always been their favorite way to hide a body." Maya wasn't buying it. She took a slow sip from her thermos, the one shaped like a stick of dynamite. "Nah," she scoffed. "This is corporate. You bury a body, you bury a lawsuit. Keeps things neat." While they debated, I was staring at the blueprint table inside the site trailer. This is where the master plans for the whole project should have been. Instead, there was nothing but a small, yellow, sticky note. 2 words were scrawled on it. Nice try. I picked it up carefully like it was wired to explode. Something was very, very wrong. "Chuck!" I yelled. "Where the hell are the blueprints?" Chuck, our site supervisor, stumbled into the doorway. He was pale, sweat beading on his forehead. "They were right here last night," he stammered. "I swear. I locked the trailer myself before I left." Maya, never one to miss a beat, muttered under her breath, "You also thought the skeleton was a Halloween prop." She had a point. Just then, Tasha walked in, her welding mask flipped up, revealing her sharp, focused eyes. She took one look at the empty table and the panicked look on Chuck's face. "If someone's messing with the plans," she said, her voice steady, "this isn't just a prank, this is sabotage." She was right. Without those blueprints, we were dead in the water. We couldn't build. We couldn't plan. We were blind. We had to find them. The crew split up, turning the entire site upside down. I went straight for the dumpsters, hoping the thief was dumb enough to just toss them. It was a long shot, but I had to check. Meanwhile, Maya took a different approach. She headed over to interrogate the food truck guy, trying to squeeze him for any gossip or unusual sightings. Dale, our tech guy, tried to access the digital backups from his tablet, but he hit a wall. "I'm locked out!" he yelled in frustration. "Someone's changed all the passwords." It was Tasha who found the first real clue. Behind the generator shed, buried under a dusty tarp and a stack of unused drywall, she found a rolled-up blueprint tube. For a second, we all felt a rush of relief. But when she opened it, our hopes sank. The pages inside were completely blank, every single one. "They took the originals," Tasha said, her voice grim. "And they left us decoys to waste our time." I clenched my fists, staring at the empty tube. Why? Why go through all this trouble?" Tasha looked at me, her expression serious. "Because someone doesn't want this building finished. They want us to fail." The thought sent a chill down my spine. This wasn't just about a building anymore. This was a direct attack on all of us. Lunch break wasn't much of a break. The food truck was serving tacos with a heavy side of gossip. Everyone was on edge. Then a crackle came over the radio. It was Big Mike, calling down from his crane high above. "Hey, Rico," his voice buzzed. "Saw someone skulking around late last night. Had on a Titan build jacket. Didn't recognize the face, though." The name hit the group like a physical blow. Chuck, who was standing nearby, went even paler than before, if that was possible. "Titan build?" he whispered. "That's impossible. That company's been gone for decades." Maya looked up from her taco, a dark realization dawning in her eyes. "So has our ghost," she said quietly. "But he's back, and it looks like he's the one messing with our blueprints." Dale was so shocked he dropped his burrito, splattering beans and salsa all over his steel-toed boots. Titan build. The name triggered a memory, something buried deep. A rumor I'd heard years ago when I first started in this business. They said that decades ago, before this site was abandoned, Titan Build had a secret vault room right here, somewhere beneath our feet. They used it for storing sensitive documents, payroll, and allegedly hush money, a place to hide their secrets. I grabbed Tasha and Maya. "I think I know where to look." I led them to the old, boarded-up service elevator shaft in the corner of the foundation. It had been sealed off with a thick layer of concrete, but time had done its work. There were cracks spiderwebbing across the surface. "We break through this," I said, pointing to the cracked concrete. "We might find the original blueprints. Or something worse." Maya didn't hesitate. A grim smile played on her lips as she pulled out her portable welding torch. "Let's crack it open," she said, the flame hissing to life. "Worst case, we find another skeleton. Best case, we find the truth." The mystery was getting deeper, the stakes getting higher. The past wasn't just buried here, it was clawing its way back to the surface. And as Maya's torch bit into the old concrete, I knew we were about to dig it up. Thanks for watching. The story's just getting started, so if you want to see what we find in that vault, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what happens next.